Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, April 15th, 2013. If you're in the United States and you're an American, today is the day that your income taxes are due. Everybody knows that one. Over the weekend, there was an airplane crash in Bali in Indonesia. A Lion Air 737-800 overshot the runway and landed in the water. Miraculously, no one was killed. Apparently, according to officials now in Indonesia, the plane will have to be split in two. It's going to have to be cut into pieces for removal, apparently to avoid the possibility of damaging the area's coral reefs. All 108 passengers and crew on board survived the crash on Saturday. No one was seriously injured. The accident has raised questions about some analysts over whether the budget carrier, Lion Air, may be putting growth ahead of safety. Over the past 2 years, the airplane carrier has ordered 460 new planes, 230 new Boeing jets, and 234 new planes from Airbus, about $50 billion in airplane orders. The pressure to keep planes flying, coupled with the difficulty of finding enough qualified pilots, can apparently create a bad recipe. This is according to Tom Ballantyne, an Australia-based aviation expert. He said it's certainly an issue for fast expanding airlines. The pilot said that he described how the plane felt dragged out of its trajectory as it crashed into the water. Authorities are considering whether a powerful downdraft of wind caused the crash. This would be a microburst or wind shear. So that information is yet to be forthcoming. Meanwhile, in the United States today, U.S. airlines have been ordered by the Federal Aviation Administration to inspect more than 1,000 of Boeing 737 narrow-body planes for potentially faulty parts that could result in pilots losing control of the aircraft. Thus far, no connection yet with what happened in Indonesia. However, the FAA issued an airworthiness directive this morning that requires all airlines to carry out inspections of certain components of the tail on the 737. This will undoubtedly be made mandatory by the European Union as well. The FAA acted out of concerns that pins used to attach the plane's horizontal stabilizer, also known as the tailplane, could break because these components did not have an adequate anti-corrosive coating. The horizontal stabilizer provides planes with directional stability and pitch. Thus far, there's been no comment by Boeing. Officials say a turbo generator at Bulgaria's only nuclear power plant has been shut down due to a hydrogen leak in its cooling system. They do insist there's no danger to the public. A statement today from the Kozloduy nuclear power plant said that the component was shut down and it was part of its conventional non-nuclear unit. It said there were no changes in the radioactivity level at the plant. The plant's about 125 miles away from the capital of Sofia, and it's right on the Danube River. On Saturday, a strong earthquake struck Japan near the city of Kobe, leaving 23 people injured, 7 of them seriously. The magnitude 6.3 quake left some homes with rooftop tiles broken and cracked walls. Goods fell off the shelves of stores. The earthquake was centered on Awaji Island, just south of Kobe, at a depth of about 9 miles. This was in the same area where a 7.2 quake struck in 1995, killing more than 6,400 people. A fire at an internet cafe in China today has spread through a hotel on the upper floors of the building, killing 13 people and injuring 15 others. Some of the hotel guests managed to escape. Firefighters rescued others. This occurred in a building in Jinyang City in Hubei province. 42 of the hotel's 50 rooms were occupied. TV footage on the state-run China news service shows smoke billowing out of the hotel windows as guests are waiting for rescue. A woman climbed down a ladder helped by firefighters. Inside the hotel, bedding was blackened as it was a corridor filled with burned debris. They're lucky that it wasn't worse than it was. More aviation news, this coming from Insurance Day. Scrapping the Federal Aviation Administration's war risk insurance program next year threatens the economic viability of the American airline industry, with operators already suffering from about $50 billion plus of financial losses over the past decade, apparently claiming that they're going to be unable to pay the prices demanded by the commercial insurance market. That's according to a trade organization called Airlines for America. Although the program had been in existence for some time, it really came into attention after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Airline underwriters had begun excluding war risk cover, writing it as a separate endorsement instead. American carriers balked at the price hikes. The FAA stepped in with its own war risk program, but that's going to expire on September 30th, 2014. Only the American airlines are able to buy this war risk cover from the government. European and Asian companies have to buy it through the traditional insurance and reinsurance market. According to the industry trade group, the American carriers simply cannot afford to return to the commercial market. We'll see if they have to do that. But the broking giant Aon has said that it's keen to discuss further any Lloyd's market concerns over its planned Berkshire Hathaway sidecar after high-level talks between its CEO Greg Case and the chairman and CEO of Lloyd's. According to some sources, Case flew from Chicago to London last week, especially to meet John Nelson and Richard Ward to discuss the market discontent over its plan that would see Berkshire Hathaway assume 7.5% of Aon business that has any Lloyd's participation. The chairman of Lloyd's, Nelson, insisted in a communication to Lloyd's participants that the concerns he raised were shared by the Lloyd's Council and the franchise board. Aon had made that announcement last month and saying that the new facility would bring the kind of benefits usually available to reinsurance markets to Aon's retail clients. The sidecar will be managed by Aon's managing general agency, Aon Underwriters. Berkshire Hathaway has granted the MGA delegated authority to underwrite on behalf of Berkshire Hathaway International Insurance. This does have the market in a little bit of a tizzy when the world's largest insurance broker is able to begin to place business, 7.5 of it, into AAA paper at Lloyd's. People begin to take attention. So we'll see what happens with this as well. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching.